We just had our last Cash Cup before FNCS Qualifier 1, and it showcased a lot of potential FNCS changing bugs and lag. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the insane lag in the EU Duos Cash Cup, and the map crashing bug that has been plaguing competitive, and the many other bugs that will affect FNCS as well. And I will also go over the Duos Cash Cup on both EU and NA, and talk about the big name teams like Mr. Savage and King, and also talk about how Clix actually might have a chance to win FNCS this season. So let's get right into it. Starting the video off, I want to talk about the bugs that could potentially ruin FNCS if they're not patched. Starting off with a bug that if you open your map in game, you have a chance to literally crash after doing so. Yes, you can crash when opening your map. It happened to so many people in yesterday's Cash Cup. And the worst thing is it doesn't happen every time, so you really don't know if you're going to crash if you open your map. So a lot of people have been thinking about unbinding the map heading into FNCS. It's crazy that we are about to have to play in FNCS without looking at the map because we think we're going to crash. The next bug is 0 point glitch, and even though it might not be the worst bug ever, not knowing how many points you have is not only bad for the player, but it also sucks for the viewing experience. Watching somebody stream and nobody knows how many points they are unless they have the points typed on the screen and then a plus sign next to however many points they have that game. It just gets really annoying. And the fact that we've had this bug so many times before just makes it a little bit more irritating that it's back once again. But hopefully it gets patched soon. And the last bug, you've probably seen it, it's been happening a lot with the solo cash cups. The event just doesn't appear in the discovery for some reason, so you have to join somebody off of your friends list, and that's just very annoying. It kind of sucks that we're heading into FNCS with so many bugs, but hopefully we see all of these get patched so we have a smooth FNCS. But as of right now, this is one of the buggiest seasons we've had heading into FNCS, I swear. Moving on, the next thing I want to talk about is the incredible lag we had in the EU Duo Cash Cup Finals. In the EU Duo Cash Cup Finals on EU, they were rehearsing the FNCS broadcast for this weekend. So they had spec client viewers in the replays, and let's say it got very laggy on EU. Take a look at a couple of these clips and just look how insanely laggy it actually was.
Ahí está. Abrí grande. Go white. Nice. Cuidado, pero necesitamos hacer un poquito de daño. Maté uno. Buenísimo. El loot.
Hopefully we can get the lag a little bit fixed, because for it to be that laggy in a Duos Cash Cup, I can't even imagine how laggy it's going to be in FNCS Grand Finals or FNCS Semifinals. Hopefully Fortnite looks into these bugs and also the lag so we can have a good FNCS this season. But moving on to a quick EU Duo Cash Cup Finals recap. We had Cammy and Seti in first place on 352 points. Cammy and Seti head into FNCS on top. And Cammy and Seti right now have a really high chance of winning FNCS this season. The big hitters on EU, Vino, Tayson, and Queasy and Thomas HD, haven't really been playing that good, but Cammy and Seti haven't really lost their footing at all this season. They won 2 different games in finals and also got a 5th and 6th to boost them up to first place. So a really good performance for them heading into FNCS Qualifier 1. Next in second place, we have Focus and Zangi on 349 points. They started off the tournament going insane, getting a 4th place, a 2nd place, and a 3rd place, and also got a win as well. So overall, a super insane performance by them, but sadly Seti and Cammy just did a little bit more to get the Cash Cup win, but nonetheless an insane performance by them. Then moving into 3rd, we have Sinet and Vanyak on 335 points. Another really good performance, but sadly there were just 2 even better performances. They got a 1st, a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 4th, and that's just not enough to win. We normally don't see these super insane performances on EU, but in yesterday's finals, it was just one of those crazy days where there's a lot of teams going absolutely insane. Next in 4th place was Misha and Teeny on 294 points. Another super solid performance, getting 3 different 6th places. But sadly, it's just another performance where it could have probably won the Cash Cup in another week, but there's just so many good performances this week. So it's only a 4th place, even though it could be better. And then rounding out the top 5 on EU, we have Chapin Khan on 267 points. Started off the tournament really hot. They got a win in game 3 and then didn't really finish the tournament well. They got a 39th and a 24th place. So could have potentially won if they made in-game in their last 2 games, but struggled 2 games, so they just have to settle with 5th place. Moving on from the EU top 5, we got to see 2 different teams in their first finals this season. We got to see Vino and Tayson get 7th place in their first finals, and Phaser and King get 18th place in their first EU finals. Still not sure what to think of Vino and Tayson, but we'll see how they perform in FNCS Qualifier 1 and see what potential this duo has. And then the Phaser and King 18th place is actually pretty solid for their first EU finals. They died off spawn the last 2 games, so they could have probably done much better. They were heavily contested with like 4 other teams at their drop spot, so overall really hard circumstances for their first EU finals, but I'm actually really excited to see this duo perform in FNCS, and I want to see how well they can do. Comment down below what you think Phaser and King can do in FNCS, if you think they're going to qual to FNCS Grands on EU, and also if you think they're going to qual to FNCS Grands on EU, comment down below what place you think they can get in Grands on EU. And then the other big name team on EU, Mr. Savage and Mongrel, didn't qual once again to the Duo Cash Cup. I'm starting to have feelings that this duo is just not going to be able to make Grands this season. I just have a feeling they're not going to get top 250 in either Qualifier 1 or Qualifier 2 to make round 4 and get any series points. I feel like each week's going to be super close for this duo, and then in semifinals, I really don't know if I have trust in them to even get top 25, if they even make the upper bracket. So I think the jury's still out on Mr. Savage and Mongrel. Hopefully they pop off in FNCS Qualifier 1, prove me wrong a little bit. But as of right now, I just don't really see this duo making much noise in FNCS. And then moving on to the NA Duo Cash Cup recap, we have Acorn and Cold in first place on 385 points. Acorn and Cold get their second Cash Cup win of the season. In Acorn and Cold fashion, absolutely dominating the tournament. It looks like Acorn and Cold are once again the favorites heading into FNCS on NA. But we'll have to see how they perform in FNCS Qualifier 1, 2, and semifinals, and see if they are still the favorites heading into Grands. This performance slides them back up into my favorites. It was Re-Enrichable, but Re-Enrichable had a very tough Cash Cup, dealing with crashing issues and getting contested randomly. But I think with this performance, Acorn and Cold are back in the number 1 spot. Moving on to second place, we have Yamzo and Rise on 332 points. This is Yamzo and Rise's third second place this season alone. And after a struggle last week getting 38th place, it looks like they're back performing how we are used to seeing them. A super consistent day for them, and heading into FNCS, I think this is a really good confidence boost after a really rough week last week. And then next, the big topic I wanted to go over, Clix and Epic Whale getting third on 300 points. Clix and Epic Whale have been playing this new height strategy, and I think this could actually be Clix's best chance to win FNCS ever in his career. They actually had a strong chance of winning this Cash Cup, but in Game 5, Epic Whale crashed on height, so it left Clix as a solo. So they didn't really get the maximum points they could have gotten if both were alive. And then in the last game, they got griefed by 2 teams not doing the greatest, Peterbot and Poyo, who had no chance of winning, and Booga and Aviv, who were just fully chalked after a lot of drama this tournament. But Clix and Epic Whale have been playing height almost every game they can, and it's been working out for them to an extent. They've been getting Barry in-game every single game. They don't really get like the wins or the second places, but they're making it to the top 10 almost every game. They basically just fully tarp out all of their mats on height, and then they basically just run around like chickens with their head cut off with 0 mats and try to see how long they can survive. Or Clix get a kill with the mythic shotgun, get a little refresh, and then keep going. Although I don't think it's the craziest strategy ever, it's actually working out really well. And I think if the cards fall in their favor in Grands, I think that strategy could potentially win in a 2-day format if they pop off on day 2 with the 100 points and 6 elim points in day 2. We're just going to have to wait and see though. Let me know down in the comments if you think Clix and Epic Whale have a high chance of winning FNCS this season. And if you don't think they do, let me know down in the comments what place you actually think this duo will be getting in Grands. But moving on, in 4th place, we have Peterbot and Poyo on 267 points. Peterbot and Poyo look really insane in the games that they do really well. If they can just clean up the early death games and make it to endgame every single game like the other top duos do, like Yamzo and Acorn, I think this duo can win Grand. But as of right now, I'm just not seeing a consistent enough playstyle to do so. But it's only the Cash Cups. We'll see how they perform in FNCS. And then rounding out the top 5, we have Batman, Booga, and Rapid on 266 points. It looks like Batman, Booga, and Rapid are going to go into FNCS once again as one of the low-key, really good teams. a top 20 team at LAN and a top 10 team in the last NA Grands, and they're looking to repeat that top 10 with another insane performance in FNCS this season. And they head into FNCS with a really good placement, helping boost their confidence. By the time you guys are seeing this video, FNCS is probably already underway. Here's the plan for FNCS videos for the qualifiers. If a couple major teams don't qualify to, let's say, round 2 or round 3, I'll try to make a video on that, going over each round. If a bunch of notable teams do not qualify to a certain round and are in trouble heading into FNCS Qualifier 2. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to not miss out on any competitive videos and any tournament recap videos. FNCS is finally starting, so I'm going to be trying to pump out so many videos for you guys about FNCS and maybe if teams change or if teams don't qual. And also guys, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like on the video, as it would help it be seen by more people. That's going to wrap it up for me in this video, guys. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.